What is it about long stretches of road that invites the unexpected? Today, I want to share a story I've never told anyone before. It's about the strangest night I've ever experienced behind the wheel, a night that left me with more questions than answers. Are you ready for this? Let's hit the road. It all started on a quiet evening, around 11 p.m. when I was driving through a remote area after visiting a friend. The road was a narrow two-lane stretch cutting through dense woods. No streetlights, no cars, just me, the hum of my engine, and the dark. The kind of silence that's almost deafening. I felt a mix of peace and unease, like the calm before a storm. A few miles in, I noticed someone standing on the shoulder of the road. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. Who stands on a road like this at night? As I got closer, I realized it was a man waving me down. He appeared normal, jeans, a jacket, and a baseball cap, but there was something off about him. His posture was too still and deliberate. Against my better judgment, I slowed down. He leaned into my window, his face barely illuminated by the dim light. He spoke in a calm but raspy voice, as if he hadn't spoken in hours. He said he'd run out of gas and asked if I could give him a ride to the nearest station. My instincts screamed to drive away, but something in his tired eyes made me feel sorry for him. So I said, okay. He got in and we were back on the road. At first he didn't say much, just stared out the window, lost in thought. Then out of nowhere he started asking strange questions. Have you ever felt like someone was following you? And do you believe in ghosts? I laughed nervously, thinking he was just trying to make conversation, but he didn't return the laugh. His tone was serious, almost accusatory. Then he leaned in closer and chills ran down my spine. Do you know this road is cursed? He asked. I brushed it off, claiming I'd never heard of such a thing. But then he shared a chilling story. Over the years, this road had claimed dozens of lives. Cars disappearing without a trace, drivers spotting figures in the woods, strange symbols appearing on the asphalt after rainstorms. He spoke with a calm authority, as if he was sharing a dark secret he knew all too well. Finally, we approached a gas station. It was deserted except for a single pump and an old building with lights flickering on. I pulled in and said, "Here we are." He sat there for a moment staring at me, then thanked me and exited the car. I watched him walk towards the building. After a minute, I realized he hadn't gone inside. He was nowhere to be found. I got out of the car, looking around and calling out for him, but it was as if he'd vanished into thin air. Concerned, I went inside the gas station to ask the attendant if he'd seen the man. The attendant looked at me like I was crazy. "No one's been here for hours," he said. My stomach dropped. I was starting to doubt my own reality. I got back in my car and drove off, my heart racing. The entire way home, I kept checking my mirrors, half expecting to see him in the back seat. But there was nothing. The road felt longer than before. Every shadow in the trees seemed alive, and every sound made me jump. When I finally made it home, I locked every door and window, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he had somehow followed me. For weeks afterward, I had nightmares about that night. Even now, whenever I find myself on a quiet road, I catch myself glancing at the shoulder, half expecting to see him standing there. So, what do you think? Was it just a strange encounter, or is there something more supernatural at play? If you've experienced anything similar, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and stay curious.